Joey Reese and Pickle and Boot Shop. Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joey Reese and Pickle and Boot Shop. Pickle time is happening. Pickle time. I go down to get some pickles.
Bring your grandma and your kids.
I go downtown.
Bring your grandma and your kids.
Boot time. Pickle and boot time. Don't be fickle. Get your pickle cider, pop a nickel in your boots. Not a place of ill repute. Bring your grandma and your kids. Come for the pickles, stay for the squids.
Pickle and boot shop.
Stay for the squids.
Yeah, pickle time.
Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands. Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands.
1996, we start this.
Hey, everybody. I am doing this beginning thing. Reese and I, things have just been crazy lately. We haven't been able to get together and record. However, I wanted to get our Patreon people, our patronizers, some content. So I interviewed Josh Kemper, Kimono, Kempstead, Kimball, Crumble, Josh Crumble from Dogwood. And so anyway, we got together and were able to have a pretty cool conversation that only just started scratching the surface. So we had a good time. I hope you guys enjoy this. And I will have another interview coming out. If we're not getting Pickle and Boot Shop episodes out as freebies, I am definitely doing my hardest to get you guys content because you are paying for it. So if Reese and I can't get together, I am trying to set up interviews and whatnot. So you got this one with Josh, and then upcoming very soon in the future, I have one with Rich, the frontman from the Israelites, to kind of talk about his ministry and that band and all of that stuff. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this. Or I actually, you know what? I hope you hate it. Sure.
I don't want to miss a second.
And I don't want to miss a second.
All right, we've had enough, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's end the call.
I don't want to live my life.
There it is, Scott.
I don't want to I miss you, man. What was that, to Armageddon?
Ben
Yeah.
Affleck, Animal Crackers. Yes.
And I don't want to miss a thing. Did you see that at
But it could've
Cornerstone?
It could have been anybody singing that song, though. It didn't sound like Aerosmith.
Correct. But it also could have been Creed.
Yeah, it sounded like Creed.
And I want to live without open.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're not wrong.
welcome to the Patreon edition of the Pickle and Boot Shop.
Oh,
I, Joe Yerke, the second half of this Pickle and Boot Shop, the lesser half, the lesser known half, is here with Joshua. Is the last name Kemper?
me?
Kuznetsov? It's Josh Kunitz. Kunitz.
Yeah. Some people know me as Josh Kimball, Josh Sandoval, Josh K, Yosh.
Yosh, where'd you get that one from?
We'll get into that. And on today's episode of Pickle and... Wait, are you Pickle or Boots?
I think I'm the Boots.
Oh, we
think
got
I'm
to
the
get into that
Boots.
too. We got to get into the why. Unless you already explained that, then skip it.
I did. It's a 30-second story.
I don't want to miss a thing.
What I don't want to miss a thing.
Okay.
Did you see that movie at Cornerstone?
Wait.
When Frank
movie?
Tate, when Frank Tate rented out the theater.
Oh, that was him. I saw.
Yeah.
I did. I went when he rented out for
Wild
the Will
West.
Smith Western movie. Yeah.
Wild West. That was awful.
Yeah.
The year prior, I believe, was Armageddon.
I don't think I was invited to that party.
I think I was kidnapped and taken to that party. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been invited. But
Yeah.
I don't want to drop names. I hope you're wearing steel toes because I'm gonna drop some names. The Supertones took me.
That's so
Do you
funny.
know them? Do you know those guys?
Yeah, I know this guy's pretty good. I know him pretty good.
I know you and that OC crew. Reese and I
Yeah.
always talk about that was a tough nut to crack.
Oh yeah, you guys are not from here.
No.
Well,
I'm from-
I'm not either. I'm not Orange County. We were always down by the border.
Yeah, but Southern
It's-
California, you guys are all
definitely.
It's kind of like Detroit and Chicago.
right.
It's like
yeah.
Detroit and Chicago bands kind of mesh well.
Or,
I think like that. Yeah. Yeah. And then the LA and San Diego kind of got together. The Orange County, if you will. Maybe not LA. Is it LA Orange County?
No, it's Los Angeles County.
Oh, it's its own thing?
Yeah. Oops. Hey.
Oh, what'd you just do?
I'm trying to make you full screen because I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know how to use this app, but
you don't want to do it.
I'm not. I won't.
In honor of you, I don't want to jump ahead, but just to set the mood, in honor of you doing podcasts where you pair beer with food, I got an all-day IPA.
Oh, Founders.
From Founders right here in Michigan.
So good.
Now, I will say this. I had a little bit of Tito's.
Tito's vodka?
Yeah, prior to this thing firing up. So I got a nice little...
So you're healthy.
Yeah, I got a nice little something going.
Tito's
and then I got the all-day IPA.
Yep, that's a really good one.
Now, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you what I had for dinner, and you're going to tell me if this is a good pairing or not, because I don't know if it is.
Oh, I was going to pair it with music. But
oh, that's right. You pair with music. What am I thinking? You pair it with
both.
food.
Well, that's what I do professionally. But yeah, have a little sipper, have a tipple.
Oh,
Founders in the house. Shout out Founders.
I'm not a giant IPA fan. I used to be.
Actually, aren't you like 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah.
You would be considered a giant IPA fan.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Buzzing.
Wowzers.
Buzzing.
Okay.
Hey, girl.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So for dinner, we had chicken pesto.
Yum.
A chicken pesto from Trader Joe's.
Yes, I've heard of it.
They're their thing. I also cooked up some steaks.
Ooh.
I had some filet mignon.
Why are you so baller?
Some
filet mignon and Tito's? What?
Yeah, I know. Hey,
the Tim Taylor royalties rolling
I get them royalty checks, and they just burn a hole in my pocket.
Damn.
And then I had some baby broccoli. Okay. Which you got to tell me how to cook that, because I try and roast it like normal broccoli, and it's harder, it's woodier.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got some tricks for you. How much do you want to learn? Just kidding.
I love cooking. That's my hobby.
Yeah?
Hobby is my cooking. Or
hobby
cooking is my hobby.
Hobby is my Tito's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I only had a little bit of Tito's.
Oh,
and it's already kicked me.
You're mixing and matching.
Sideways.
You're mixing and matching.
But you know what they say: liquor before beer, never fear.
Do they? Is that what it is?
I don't know. My grandma.
You're in the clear.
My great grandma told me that.
Actually, yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because but Tito's is also really, really clean and like clear of any nastiness and stuff like that. It's all organic and so.
Is it really?
It's one of the best.
Good.
It's one of the best things. Like a lower calorie beverage. It won't give you a hangover as much if you're careful. Well, and of course, if you're doing it in the right order, I guess, according to your great grandmother.
Yeah. Wives' tales. That's where she's
like, trust me, kid. Trust me.
She's like, I've been smoking for 40 years. I still sing like a lark.
Oh, so broccoli, back to baby broccoli.
Yeah. What do I do with baby broccoli? Because I'm doing olive oil,
sure,
salt and pepper. Yep. And then I put it on the old grill. And it starts to char, but whereas asparagus starts to char and starts to get softer, the baby broccoli ain't getting softer.
Yeah. The easiest way is to Get it in a blanch. Get some salty water boiling.
I was gonna say
throw it
blanch
in just for like 30 seconds to like maybe 45 seconds or a minute, whatever, however soft you want it. Because then it's all the way cooked, and then you just cook it off in whatever grill or oven because it'll char up because it's already cooked. Whereas if you go char from the get go, you have to go like pretty high temperature, and it doesn't really match. You don't really, it doesn't, you can't really match, you can't really have all these different temperatures on your grill if you're doing filet mignon and chicken and broccoli. So if it's blanched, you can just put it on for like, a minute or two and it's done.
Okay.
So, but you got to have ice water ready too. Ice water after the blanch.
Okay. So boiling water for 45 seconds, take it out, ice water.
Yeah.
That'll soften it. And then I get the char on the grill.
Yeah. And the water, the blanched water needs to be salty.
Then you drink that.
You can, yeah,
with pickle juice, and then you chase it with pickle juice
and boot juice.
Boot. Oh, yeah.
The boot sauce.
You know it.
Boot that was the next thing on your dinner menu, right? Like chicken pesto, filet mignon, broccoli, boot sauce.
The boot sauce. We're going to start selling that on our website.
And you toss everything off the table and have some Tito's.
Yeah, the pickle and bootleg merch site. We're going to start selling boot sauce.
All natural.
What's that green arm behind you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at Josh from Dogwood. Josh Kemper.
Oh, hi.
And behind him to my left, his right,
this
is a green arm just hanging on the wall. What is that?
It's a mannequin. It used to be actually all red, and then my wife spray paints it different colors every once in a while. It's actually like a yellow right now, but I have these different color lights on, so it's yellow, but yeah, maybe yellow green in the camera. It's a mannequin arm, and it has a magnet on the where your shoulder ball would be, so it sticks to that like Metro shelf.
That's called a hypoglossic.
Yep.
That shoulder ball is called hypoglossic.
Wow. All this and a medical student.
Well, no. I just do a lot of reading. I do a lot of reading.
I love reading about bones.
lots of bones reading.
Lots of joints.
So anyway, you guys, we're going to get started on this show because all of this is getting cut. No, it's not. All of this is getting cut because we are going to start this show professionally to make Josh think that the Pickle and Boot Shop is a professional outfit.
But I know the truth. I know the truth.
Exactly. Josh, we're going to take you way back to when you were born in Iowa. Dang. Weren't you born and raised in Iowa and then moved to California?
You've been doing some digging.
I did. I did do some digging. Your Wikipedia page.
My personal one. Okay. I don't know who wrote that, but I was not born in Iowa. I've been there, but I wasn't born there. I was born in Missouri.
Oh, where in Missouri?
Fort Leonard Wood Army Hospital.
Is that near Cape Girardeau?
I don't know where it is. It's like down kind of south central Missouri, in the forest, I think. I don't know if there's a forest there.
Because our bass player, I don't know. Our bass player Bo, I don't know if you remember that fella.
I know Bo.
He was born in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Is that usually Cape sounds like it's like at the bottom of a continent.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be like on an ocean, Cape Cod
or Cape of Magellan, or so
or
Cape Canaveral.
Horn.
Cape
Horn. Isn't Cape Horn in Africa?
Cape Bush.
Kate Bush. Yeah, she was a teen model in the 90s. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but isn't Missouri landlocked?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of water there actually, in the Ozarks and everything, and the Missouri River, and no, there's water. There's a lot of water.
Does the old Mississippi
old man, the old deep river.
Roll up your windows.
Roll them up. So, no,
you were born there.
I was born there, but I don't know it.
Got into bodybuilding, and your family to support your bodybuilding moved you to California, or
as a 2-year-old? Yeah, I was
the Wikipedia wrong.
I was part of an experimental group for baby steroids. Really, really, really progressive for that era. It was like early, I guess mid to late 70s when that would have been.
Your lats were legit.
Ronald Reagan was not quite the prez, and I had just learned what flipping the middle finger bird was. Yeah. And so me and my friends, kindergarten maybe, got in a lot of trouble for flipping the bird. And we didn't even know what it was. But we
That
just did it.
works though.
Yeah. So
I remember when I was a kid, I heard my friend's older brother call somebody a douchebag.
whoa.
So I sat on my front lawn, and any car that drove by on a side street in a suburb, anybody who drove by, I yelled douchebag at them until my mom yelled at me to come inside. And she goes, "What are you yelling at these people?" And I go, "Douchebag." And she goes, "Do you even know what that is?" And I go, "Nope." And she goes, "Unless you know what it is, you're not allowed to say it." So I was like, all right. And then my mom would always do this. She goes, "But because of that, you're grounded." So I was like, oh,
What?
okay.
That
So
sucks.
so in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, it was obviously something I shouldn't be saying. But my mom is always famous for this. She would say, "You're grounded, go to your room." I would be in my room less than 10 minutes, and my mom would go, "You know what? I don't even want to see you. Get out of the house. You're grounded from the house." And I think that was my mom's way of, like, in the summer school vacations, she would ground me from the house, and then I would have to be out and about in the city and parks, and she got the house to herself.
She's smart.
She's a brilliant woman. Brilliant woman.
She's legendary.
Yeah. So you went from Missouri to Southern California?
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me see. Let me recall, because I was 1 year old. But yeah, I
Think back to those memories of just driving cross country,
This is
seeing the giant ball of twine.
Hey, we're only 2.5 hours from the. So let's see. Yeah, there was Jacksonville, Florida in there was at some point, but I don't remember that either. So yeah.
Now you were an Army brat, was that right?
For a bit, for like the first year. I don't remember that at all. My dad was not around anymore after that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, as we move on here, if there's any wounds that I can help open, just give me the thumbs up when we touch upon a subject that makes you want to,
all of them,
be codependent. Just give me a thumbs up, and I'll hit it hard.
Oh, let's go. Let's push all the buttons. I mean, this is the you tackle the serious topics on the P&BS.
Oh yeah, I imagine that's what that's
why the listeners are here.
Yeah, the popular Christian artists of years gone by are lining up to be on this show.
So they can spill all their guts.
Yeah, it's basically our show. I don't want to brag, but our show is basically, if you think about it, it's a Larry King meets Oprah.
Yes.
In a way.
Yeah. They could only hope to be like
I didn't want to say it, but
the P&BS.
So you make it to Southern California.
Oh,
That's where you meet the Supertones.
Yeah, we were friends since we were born in the same hospital. We traveled the country together. Grew up. No, just kidding. I actually, yes, the Soup Tones. I didn't meet the Soup Tones until I don't know, maybe like a few years into my music.
A few years
journey.
ago.
I didn't meet them until a few years ago. No,
they were doing a book signing. Their lead singer and trumpet player were doing a book signing at.
I have a lot of fond memories, but I have one only like funny story, I guess, about.
Let's hear it.
Is it for this part or shall
absolutely
we no?
We don't know if he's actually going to be here.
Okay, good, because I don't like him.
Yeah, Reese is what we call a fickle bird, and you let him do his
thing. The fickle and boot shop.
That's what it should be. Have you ever seen those diagrams where it's like a circle and then another circle that joins? Yes. And then they're like in between. That's Reese. Like occasionally his circle dips into the show, and then at that point I hit record.
Yeah, we
try and get something, but
you're like how's 90. The lawnmower?
Yeah, like 96% of the listeners of this show are 5-iron diehards.
Yes.
They have no clue. A year and a half into this, they have no clue who I am. But I just kind of like keep him kind of on the microphone.
Reese, say something. Yeah.
That's exactly it, man.
Yeah.
So he may join in. What time is it? It's 8:16. It's 8:15. He said this would be about the time that he would be jumping on. So if he jumps in, he'll jump in.
We'll start over. We'll start right over.
Yeah. Oh, here, he's texting us. So let me see what he has to say. My kids are crazy. Can you guys do it without me?
Tell them to bring the kids.
See,
Bring the
told ya.
kids. Free
Told ya.
T-shirts for the kids.
All
I'll
right,
give them
so
a free T-shirt.
so it looks like
Okay.
we're doing this again. This is Reese Roper. This is the mysterious Reese Roper that so many people want to get to know more of.
Yeah.
And I have to deal with this guy.
So I'm Pickle today? Pickles?
And I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
You're
All right. The honorary
you're Grease Groper today.
I'm the Greek groper.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You're the greased up groper.
Okay.
So
back to
you grew up in Missouri. I'm sure you've gone over all of these things.
Never.
I'm just messing with you. I know that you were born in Missouri. I know that you moved to Florida. I know that you then moved to California. I know that your pops wasn't there and things like that. And then your stepdad came in. You took his last name because you were down with the family. You were down with carrying on that name and that legacy, all that stuff. I know it all.
He knows me.
I know your favorite number is 97.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I know that you're an executive chef.
True.
That also has a podcast that you pair music with beer or all alcohol.
With food and or beverage. Beverage. So both, or sometimes just one thing, or sometimes I'm like, this reminds me of a cup of coffee or whatever. But yeah.
So what would you say about this? So are you
chicken pesto, filet mignon?
Are you familiar with or would you need to hear it? But are you familiar with Prince Buster?
No.
He was a first wave ska, like 50s, 60s ska.
Oh, okay.
And he has a song called Hallelujah. And so tonight, while my girlfriend and I were eating, I cooked dinner for her. I cook all the time. Like I said, I get home from work. That's how I relax. That's my that's my hobby. I love cooking. Absolutely love it. I grew up. My grandma was from Arkansas. That's Southern cooking. Whether it was me and her eating or the whole family, there was enough food for an army. So I watched my grandma cook, that Southern style. I watched my mom kind of cook through the 80s and 90s of like whatever fad diet was going on. Kind of watch those things happen.
Yeah.
My sister, same thing, but she's older than me. So then she got into cooking. I watched her. I love the grill. And I love smoking meat and stuff like that. And so I got into that. So I'm huge into cooking. I love it. So anytime you want to talk about cooking,
I do.
On this show, feel free to interject and throw your 3 cents in there. But I wanted to know if you know the Prince Buster song, because tonight while eating dinner, my girlfriend heard that song for the first time, and she is a country girl through and through. She listens to 2 types of music, old school country and like 90s country. So she's a country girl.
Okay.
But
have you heard of emo?
She likes some emo. She likes some stuff that I play.
Because country is farm emo.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah, farm emo. So you can give her that one. But you guys, you know what you guys did tonight? You guys built an experience that how I would do a pairing.
Okay.
With that song.
Okay. So explain.
So if I'm doing a beer pairing dinner and I say I'm doing it with Founders or Bells or whatever, if I'm doing
now, Josh, back me up even more. So if you're doing this pairing, do you have a newsletter that you send out, an email blast, a Twitter? Are people showing up somewhere to do this pairing, or is it just you and your wife or friends that you invite over?
It's kind of both. If I'm doing it at my house or someone's house, then it's friends. If I'm doing it like at my, professional kitchen where I chef is, then it's like ticketed and like, all the bells and whistles with social media and maybe even, partnerships with, because I usually do it with a company, like with a beverage company or a specific food company or whatever.
Okay.
If we're promoting a product or whatever, right? Or coffee brunch or something. So I've done bourbon ones and all these different ones. So it depends on the thing. So they help promote it too. But then there's also a component, of course, since my background is music more than more than chefing, right? Is I try to put a soundtrack to it, a playlist, if you will, that's playing the whole time. Or if there's even live music, we do some pairings like that. This one's going to be really aggressive or whatever. Not me playing personally, but I get musicians.
This is
or
a
DJs.
Demon Hunter in paella, or what's that called? Paella.
Paella, yeah.
Paella.
That could
There
work.
you go.
You just have to figure out a way. No, you're.
I stretched. I stretched for something that I didn't really know about, and I failed. I fell on my face in front of you, in front of the listeners. But it's okay. This is life. We pick ourselves up. We keep moving. So
It's
keep
fine.
going.
It's the pickles and boots. It's a. Well, no, you. So what I would do is be like, hey guys, or hey everybody, hey folks, whatever the case may be. For example, we're on the third chorus of the night, and I got this new song. I got this song I'm queuing up. It's gonna be, we'll call it, a Fire and Frenzy song. It's called blah 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 blah. I picked this one because it reminded me of this part of while I was cooking, and so now, when you eat your chicken pesto tonight that Joe made for you, you're always going to remember. You're always going to remember this song. You're always going to remember this food or this song together because now you built an extra experience with more senses than you might normally use when you're eating dinner or whatever the case may be. Whether I'm bringing up trauma or a good thing or something in your life, I bring it up, or we're building the experience together. And then on top of that, Founders IPA, for example, since you have that, or Tito's, my bartender made a Tito's cocktail to pair with your filet mignon and your baby broccoli cooked to perfection by Joe, because, and then you take a lyric from the song perhaps and say, like, they said something about, like, the way the food was, sometimes there's like different things you can put together. It's not necessarily always a stretch, but you're like, oh yeah, they totally in the song they said like something about being like raw or spicy or something like that. It's already in the song.
So you do a little ceviche.
Sometimes I do a lot of ceviche actually in real life. So
oh my gosh, Josh, I fell in love with ceviche in Hawaii.
Nice.
And there's no ceviche places here in Detroit. Detroit, no. we have a really good food scene. We have a really good foodie scene here in Detroit. Nowhere for ceviche. Nowhere.
Bring it. You got to bring it. You have to do it. Can you get fresh fish?
Yes, I can get fresh fish.
Then you're halfway there. That's it. That's all you need.
Just do it on my own.
To be honest, like you could get good quality frozen fish, like as long as there's no coating on it, and you could defrost it and make ceviche.
Off air, I'm going to make this sound like a radio show. Off air, send me a really good something with fish and a little jalapeno in it.
You got it.
So I'm guessing that's going to be this is what I'm guessing. It would be salt, pepper, lime, jalapeno, a white fish.
Yep.
And I would think with just kind of that little flavor combo that I threw at you, there's got to be something sweet. So what would you do? Like maybe a little sake in there or something? Like what would be a sweet component of that? Or is there something in there that I'm missing that there might be sweet anyway?
Ceviche is not always sweet per se. We do seasonal fruit sometimes in our ceviche. We add strawberries or pomegranate seeds or whatever to add some sweet. But usually if you're in Hawaii, I would imagine that they probably also, you had poke, which is really good raw fish one too. That's super. That's really, for sure. That's pretty sweet. That one's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, because they put like teriyaki and stuff in it, right?
Stuff, yeah, mirroring all kinds of stuff. But it tastes super awesome with the sesame oil and everything. But ceviche is
sesame oil. That's what I'm thinking, not teriyaki.
Yeah. Oh no, it's probably both in there. Whatever. Like, there's so many recipes. There's no right or wrong. There's just a certain thing you have to do is make sure that you're curing the fish in the lime juice, and then you're pretty much good to go with whatever else you want to put in it. I don't really like raw onions myself, so I tend to do less onions than most people. I do more cucumber.
I love me some onion, but I do love cucumber too. Yeah.
It's basically almost like making a pico de gallo salsa with fish, and a lot of lime.
Yeah, so you're not wrong. Yeah.
Basically, the citrus, like whether it's lemon or lime, typically lime, but you can also use lemon in a pinch. That cooks the fish.
Okay,
cures the fish technically.
Well, I don't know usually when I am somewhere different than I normally record. Normally, when we record these things, I have a pad of paper and I'm taking notes. If Reese brings up something that I need to listen to or something like that, I don't know if you have a pen and paper there.
Yeah,
I'll text you. I want you to listen to Prince Buster and I
Okay.
want you to listen to
I'll put it in the notes.
the Hallelujah song and let me know what you would pair. But if you're telling me that I already did the experience for Heidi, because as she was eating the food, she was like, I really like this song. And it made my like heart flutter. It
Boom.
made my ears perk
Yeah.
up because I'm like,
Yep.
seriously, you like this? And she's like, yeah, this is a good song. I'm like, this is Prince Buster. He passed away last year. He's we've been dating for about a year and a half. And so
Mhm.
she's got to learn this like rough history of ska whenever something comes on in the car and I got to explain something to her, something like that. So
She got to put
But
up with all your shit.
yeah, but she loved it. She loved it. She's
That's
like
good.
a 50s girl. She loves I don't know if this is 50s, but she loves like I Love Lucy, Bewitched,
Mhm.
all those old school shows. So then that's what she said today. Like while we were eating, she's like, man, I love this. It seems like something that would be on like,
It's like
you know,
retro.
yeah, the old like TV Land or something like that. And
It
I was
probably
like,
would.
yeah. So it was fun. It was a fun dinner. I always like to have food for her when she gets home. And so that's that. So
That's
I just hijacked this. You're supposed to be the one talk about how you're the amazing chef. And I just tried to C block you.
You just
And
pickle and booted me.
the PB boot. Yep. So
No, that's what it's all about, though, because you're picking my brain.
I'm trying.
Yeah. Prince
So
Buster.
So now we're in Southern California. And
Okay, we're back at it.
Yep. And you are a teenager.
I was.
Did you come to know the Lord at an early age? Did you find the Lord as like a teenager? What was your motivation in your teen years did you do a band before Dogwood?
No, it was always, we were just called something else, but it was always the same band.
Yeah. The Insiders is the only thing I've ever done.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've done a lot of singing on other people's stuff, but I never like toured with another band or like, record, been a lead singer of another band or anything like that. So
yeah, same here.
I've always been the loyal guy of the band,
Yeah. I just lied to you. I said same here because you said that you'd sung on other people's stuff. I never have. There's a Brazilian punk band called Onyx 8. They're freaking awesome. You got to check them out. They are freaking awesome.
Yeah, I know them.
Oh, okay, cool. So they asked me to sing on their album.
Oh, dope.
And I could not for the life of me get the stuff to work, like to record on the stuff to send, like what they sent me to record to send it back. And unless I would have like dropped like major cash to like get a studio, it wasn't happening. But they were the only ones that have ever asked me like, hey, will you sing on our stuff?
Do you speak Portuguese?
I hear it fluently.
but I can't. Song? Was it an Insiders song or you were going to do on their?
Yep. No, they redid a praise and worship song the way that we did it. They did Lord You're Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lord You're Beautiful.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, so they did that the way that we did it. And so they wanted me to come on there and do like a verse and it just didn't work. And then what was cool is their single came out like on iTunes and Spotify, and they took our Scalleluja artwork,
right,
and they changed it to where they inserted them into the artwork. Like it was this cartoon thing, and they put themselves in there. So it was pretty cool. Like that's never happened to me. That was so rad. That was so rad.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, it's still a little bit flattering, I guess, when you're, because for the most part, you and I we're both independent artists, like we're on the labels, but they were independent labels technically. No matter how big or small, it's independent, right? It's not Sony. So it's flattering when people nowadays still be like, hey, I listened to your band, or here's a cover of the song of yours that we did. I'm like, well,
yeah, for sure.
People still hear my song or whatever, and then one of my chefs put my music on. They're like, haha, you have monthly listeners or whatever, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I guess so. Like, because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, you're like, thanks. I just got 0.0000002 cents.
Oh yeah,
for that last play. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You got to listen to it a million times today for me to see a nickel.
Yeah, can you just put it on repeat on different phones? Did you see this poster right here out to my on my left shoulder?
That's a
This-
catcher, a baseball catcher.
Yeah, and it's always up right here, and this is my studio. But
Okay.
it's the Tigers Padres 1984 World Series.
Oh, Goose Gossage, man, got busted.
So this would be the pitcher, Terry Kennedy, but this was like an artist painting from 1984, but I still have it in a frame. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
That I'm talking to you, a
Yeah.
Detroit head, and one of my good chef buddies from here is from Detroit, Angry Pete. Shout out.
Oh,
Detroit
well,
pizza.
that seems apropos.
Detroit pie.
We do make some good pizza.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah,
How much you bench press? No, just kidding. Do you have
Well,
ADHD?
about 150.
Do you have ADHD?
I do. Yes.
Yeah, me too. And
Yeah.
we can smell our own.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, when did you meet the Lord? And then you're like, remember Onyx 8 from Portugal and
Yeah.
baseball.
Yes. Exactly.
So I know, I feel you,
Yeah.
and I can. But the thing about it is, I can actually. I don't have the kind where you like kind of forget what people are doing, or I can like hear 3 questions and answer all 3 at boom, 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 like that to different people in the kitchen.
Oh, I can't. I have the type where I'm either I can't focus. I can't focus on what would be the way of putting it? Like I can't focus on anything that I need to do, but like
real focus, like true.
yeah,
focus.
like dreamer stuff will
Mhm.
grab me. So I'll spend 6 hours of my work day thinking of the podcast,
Yeah.
and like my other stuff will suffer.
Sure.
Or I'm hyper focused. So like
Mhm.
tomorrow,
Mhm.
I already know that tomorrow I'm going to have a hyper focus day because I've been thinking about tomorrow.
Mhm.
Tomorrow is voting day. So where I work will be closed down. Like the main part of my job will be closed down because schools are closed down.
Mhm.
So instead of being at the school, I'll be at my office and I won't have any of those distractions. So I'll just be able to knock out all the crap that I got to knock out.
Right.
So
right.
like I already know right now that I'll have hyper focus tomorrow, but like my other stuff is just all over.
Mhm.
I saw this funny Instagram reel where it's like a dude, he goes, I don't know what HD is, but my doctor says I have 80 of them. And then he just jumps, like just dives into the water.
Oh,
And
love
I
that.
thought that was hilarious, like ADHD.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a play on words.
If you will.
He did a little wordplay.
He did. Like a
So,
wordsmith.
Yeah.
All right. So you
So the Lord, Jesus Christ.
So you moved to you're in Southern California.
I
At
am.
what point did you become a believer? At what point did that impact your life?
What a crazy story. What a crazy. So let's see. I don't know if I found the Lord or the Lord found me first or whatever. Like, because
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
totally does.
because single mom, lots of.
You
know,
were?
I was a single mom. Yep. Yeah. I am in my heart. I think in my heart I am, but
You identify as a single mom.
I had still do, I guess, technically single mom. I mean, not single in a physical sense, like singularity. I only have one mom, but
Correct.
yes, when my real father left,
Okay.
so we're part of the Catholic Church, just by default by Mexicanness
Okay.
and stuff like that. So Roman Catholic, excuse me. So not really serious about it. We would just do it because that was family. That's how it was. You just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no choice. And if you're bad, that we had what was called the church pinch. My mom was really good, and my aunt, they were good at the church pinch. If you act up,
Yeah.
and then you can't scream because then it's like,
we had that too.
yeah, the church
This
pinch.
is what I didn't understand. Every Sunday, my mom, we'd sit down in the church pew, and it would be my mom, either my sister or me and my sister. Every
Mhm.
single Sunday.
Mhm.
Every single Sunday, whoever was sitting next to her would get the pinch,
Yep.
and she would go do, like, under her breath, she'd grit her teeth and go, do I need to sit between you two? And the next Sunday, we'd be sitting together and she'd be on the end, and one of us was getting pinched and the teeth grit. Do I need to sit between you two?
Oh,
She never
man.
thought prior to, maybe I should sit between these two.
Yeah, just preemptively sit.
So I
and
know
pinch
the
them both.
church.
Pinch
I
'em
know the
both.
church pinch. Yeah.
For sure. So I got a lot of those. I mean, so whatever. And then, she marries the Kemble guy, the white guy, and then we stopped going to that church, start going to like a Calvary chapel kind of church.
Okay.
Like, free form, hippy dippy, you know, guitar on the beach kind of church.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my journey foray into that kind of whole like evangelical world, and that was, maybe I was like 6 or 7 in that. So,
Okay.
so I think when you kind of grow up in that system, for me, I'll speak for myself, but when you grow up in the Calvary system or whatever, the church system like that, where it's non-liturgical, there's not a lot of traditions, there's not a church calendar. And like I said, it's very free for all because, it's very black or white, like heaven and hell, like you once were lost, now I'm found, and that's it. And now you go to heaven because you do all these good things or whatever, and whoever doesn't is going to hell. That's every sermon every Sunday.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Even in youth group, whatever. Yay, kids, heaven and hell. So but I was always just along because it was a semi decent experience. I still have friends to this day from growing up in that church, whatever. But backstage, things were falling apart. Like at my house, abuse, alcoholism, from the new dad, stuff like that. So it's the stuff that's in all my songs, right? Because when I guess we started the band right after, like basically the end of high school. We started writing songs and music and I was always writing this down.
And what year was this? What year was the end of how old are you?
For me, that would have been 92, 93. And then we started the band 93, 94.
Okay. So how old are you? 47?
The 1900s. I just turned, this was my birthday week. So
hey, happy birthday. That's why we had you on the show.
Scorpio. So
is that a Mortal Kombat reference?
Get over here. Oh yeah, I forgot that was his name. Yeah, no, I am a Scorpio. Yeah, I
don't know what that means.
I just know that. Yeah, I know.
You talking about like a Ouija board?
Totally.
Is that like Ouija board stuff?
Super satanic. Yeah. Yeah. Scorpio, Enneagram 7, ENFJ. I don't know if that's the right letters. What else do we? ADHD. I got 80 of them.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm a single mom. Just kidding. So, anyways,
we're dissecting you tonight.
That's fine. Founders IPA in the house all day. It's a session, technically a session IPA on that one. It's a pretty good one.
It is a session ale. A session ale.
Session ale pale.
Yeah.
Well, good for them. All day. It takes you all day to drink one of them.
Yeah. You got to choke it down. But go on.
Your line is full of Titos. Titos.
I wish it.
What happened? What happened was, what was I saying?
Oh, what happened? Church.
Yeah, so high school.
Yep.
Right. So then you start questioning everything because you're already questioning everything as a middle schooler or a high schooler. Yeah, if you're paying attention. If you're paying attention, you're questioning everything. Yeah. It's kind of like as an adult in all everything that's happening in the world. If you're not angry, you're not paying attention, kind of thing. But in school, you're like, if you just kind of go along with everything could really be hunky dory or really, really shitty.
Yeah.
If it's either one. But if you're really paying attention, you can kind of like steer the ship a little bit. Of your own journey, of your own faith a little bit, because I didn't grow up in a rich household or anything like that. Apartments, kind of hood area, ghetto, if you will. But it was very enriching also at the same time because, there was a lot of broken homes and, neighbor kids and gangs and stuff like that. But it was also very a welcoming community. And, everyone was welcome to come to church with us on Sunday or youth group or whatever the church was doing, throwing crucified concerts or whatever,
Yeah.
So my church was cool like that. But I just saw all this tumult and chaos and shittiness happening in my family and some other church families too. And then also there was a point sometimes people in the church would say it's bad to get a divorce. For sure. They say, work it out or whatever. But to me, that didn't make sense. And then I found I was also guilty sometimes of blaming my mom for being abused, which I feel guilty about it sometimes. It's like, there's no answer or reason why I should have blamed her for any of it,
right.
Maybe. you know, so
Yeah, you
but
just don't know as a kid.
no, yeah, but at the same time, this was the guy taking us to church.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. So this
Yep.
dad was doing all this stuff at the house and God knows what to my siblings. And then also we were big in the church, you know, like deacon kind of stuff and like captain of the softball team and all that, you know, like he's a very
Oh,
popular
heck
guy.
yeah.
He was very popular.
Played first
Um,
base for the church softball team.
Dude, you know it. Men's fast pitch and slow pitch
Oh,
and basketball
you have to have
and
I
flag
plays
football.
I plays first base. You got to have a special mitt for that.
Yeah, I got the switch hitter. Um, so anyways, I saw all this kind of stuff, and so I've just been questioning everything, like my whole spiritual journey.
Okay.
You know, asking for those kind of unanswerable answers, and like really finding the good in all the stuff that's good, and seeing the bad, and really calling it out. And that's kind of what I always got in trouble for in the band, was calling out the church from within, kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, so but I took faith seriously and spirituality seriously because I could see the benefit of that. But I also saw like really like the I felt like, and I still do, but I feel like sometimes the church and the religiosity of what we've made the system is not right. So, you know, like it could be so much radder than it is sometimes, or like the bad rap, or all those Instagram pages that just kind of make fun of Christian stuff. But hey, that's the stuff that Christians are doing. That's why it's so funny, you know. But
yeah, absolutely.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And so it was always an interesting thing to be in the scene, or in the church and Christian scene of music and stuff like that, because I understood why people who were not in the scene would look at it in a certain way and know that that it was like, who do you're singing to other church people. But I'm trying to sing to church people to tell them something about themselves or about the church or whatever. I was kind of complaining a little bit through the music, if you will.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. No, that was always I think I would have to self-admit, I would have to admit that I was a total late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
So my Christianity upbringing was, I grew up in the church, and I went to Sunday school, and I did youth group, and I did all of that stuff. And then when the Insiders got going, we did our thing, and everything was hunky dory. That's the first band I was ever in, and we saw success with that.
Mm-hmm.
As year to year went and album to album went, we got bigger, we got more, you know, we got like our album sales were better, all these different things. And so we didn't have this like questioning of the church. We were like the other side of it. We were kind of like I'm embarrassed to say, like the pep rally side of the church.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
I
so
know what you mean.
You know, so that's kind of what we did. That's what we got big for with the Scalleluja stuff, was being like the pep band for Jesus.
Sure.
And then it wasn't until the band ended and life happened, and I was challenged, and things in life happen, and there's heartbreak, or there's, some really big hurdles in life that you have to go through, that it was at that point that I started questioning. So like during the heyday of the Insiders, I was 20 some years old, and like this with the mindset of like a 13-year-old youth group kid that just everything is great, and like you just believe in Jesus, and like everything is cool. And then I hit this wall, and my life came crashing down. And then you realize the metal, and you realize who Christ is, and you realize what true Christianity is. And for me, I've found like what it truly means to be a Christian, and my relationship with Christ, and all this stuff that I thought growing up, like, you know, whether it be swearing, whether it's drinking, whether it's, you know, placing the occasional bet, you know, all this stuff that was like, you can't do that. You know, the church, you can't do that. All these things that now it's like, that stuff is all nonsense to me. Like all of that stuff is absolute nonsense to me. the only thing that counts is that relationship with Christ. And then as my relationship with Christ grows, I would think in my personal life, I want to get better at things, or I want to, you trim the branches. And especially I think the older you get, you realize, I need to do this better. I can let this go. But yeah, I feel like we were never on that. Like you and Reese, this is where if Reese was on here, you guys could talk for probably 2 hours on it, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, where you could just talk about questioning the church. Cause that young man, that's what he's dedicated his life to doing.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's got, or we get a little bit better at the way we question, perhaps, as you mature. And I think that the spiritual journey of there's a bubble, right? There's the Christian the church is kind of in a bubble or an echo chamber. The Christian scene, as it were, at least from when we were in it, is like you said. There's the pep rally, and we played some of this, festivals and what's it called, like conferences and stuff like that. It's like you can see that a lot of the audience, there may be some people out there like who grew up like I did, like troubled or chaotic or whatever, and that's kind of who I was trying to speak to or sing to. Is like, yeah, I see you out there with, an abusive family or whatever the case may be, or just even questioning crazy stuff like, sex before marriage, abortion, drugs, homosexuality, all this kind of stuff that almost you're not allowed to talk about in youth group to some degree.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like I felt empowered sometimes, and maybe sometimes too much, but to be the voice for the voiceless in a sense. Or people asking me to sing about it or whatever. And then after a few records in, or even now after Dogwood and still writing stuff for other bands or even just new music, I'm like, I don't really necessarily care what the kind of church, the judgy kind of judgy side of church thinks about the lyrics anymore, because I realize that I'm trying to help other people who are actually struggling with stuff.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, you're lay your weary head and blah, the Bible verses. But then I'm like, if I get flack or judgment from the churchy kind of waggy finger kind of people, I'm like, dude, the Bible is just like one big like horror story of like mess ups. And have you read Lamentations or Psalms or Job or even Revelation? Is all about like death and war, and there's hope in Jesus, but like I said,
there's still suffering.
There's a lot at least in the Bible, so I don't know. It's just like a thing.
Now I don't write anymore. I feel like when the Insiders started, we played this place in Memphis, and I heard this preacher. We played there like on a Saturday night, and then we woke up Sunday. We went to church at the church that had brought us in, and the preacher preached about basically the Lord can give you a vision, can give you a ministry, and he can take that away, or that can be taken away when you've accomplished your goal or whatever the case may be. And I feel now, mind you, I'm not putting Insiders lyrics up against anybody else. I don't think at all that I was ever a good lyricist. I don't think, I don't think there's people sitting at home at night. Like usually when people are like, hey, I really like this song by the Insiders, it was a cover. So it's not like I was writing these amazing lyrics that like changed people's lives or got people through a hard time. I don't think that's the case. But if you paid my salary, put me in a house in some beautiful part of the country, beautiful part of the world, and said, write another album, you have 365 days to do it. On the 366th day, you would unlock that door and I'd come out with like that. I don't have anything. I can't write to save my life nowadays. And the issue is, when I used to write, I was writing under the guise of, like, I'm a Christian and yay. Then our last two albums, Soundtrack to a Revolution, I was going through craziness in my life. And then Sinner's Songbook was the last album I wrote, and that basically shut the chapter, shut the book on that part of my life, like the crap part of my life. And I feel like that was it. Like when that album was written, like, again, I don't feel like I could write anything today. But if I did, as you were saying, I feel like at my age, I'm not like an 18-year-old trying to justify to my church elders what I'm singing about.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at my age, whether it's speaking on this podcast, whether it's talking to people at church, whether it's talking to people out of church, whatever the case may be, I could care less what other people think anymore. Like, I don't censor myself. I don't do those things because I think my relationship with Christ is different. I think personally it's stronger than it was back when I was doing the Insiders. But to be an outsider looking at me, you'd probably say, oh no, you were probably a better Christian when you were 21 than you were at 45 because of ABCD. But it's because of ABCD that I think that true relationship with Christ is stronger than just this paper thin regurgitating what you were taught in Sunday school and youth group that I would sing about. A way that I always put it to like my kids or younger kids that I used to deal with is I feel like growing up, Sunday school and youth group is like the practice field. You practice. And then when life actually hits you in the face and it's game time, that's kind of like the sports analogy of like where champions are made. Like, do you fold? Like, you've practiced all your life. You've heard all the stories. You've learned all the lessons. Have you taken those to heart? And then when life hits you in the face, do you just fold? Or do you actually say, oh my gosh, like now I'm actually going through a Job moment, and do you rise to the occasion? So I think at 45, I don't think if I was writing an album today, I don't think I would give 2 squirts of urine as to what my church elders or people that I rubbed elbows with at church would think about any of it. I think there'd be cussing. I think there'd be cussing on an Insiders album now. I think there'd be F-bombs dropped. I think all that stuff. I think it would be an uncensored, but you would listen and you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is a Christian album, but some things are being said on here, that, and I think other artists have done that.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, or when they like leave this, they got the new look or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you can understand why. Well, I guess you and I and Reese can understand why people, I guess, leave the scene or whatever, leave the church or whatever. But also, like, I think people who aren't in bands necessarily don't really understand that, and there's Facebook groups and all this stuff because they're fans and they want fans don't want bands to change.
Yeah.
Whether it's Bad Religion or Offspring or Dogwood or Insider, you know what I mean?
Now let me ask you, just so I'm not going about this blind, like, are you still a believer?
Yeah. Like I said, it's like my own kind of journey, but I feel like my faith, has been tested a lot with kids and different relationships, which most of my relationships in my life are people from the church, and then so like when those relationships fall apart, where's God in that, or like what we really found out about each other in the church during the last few years, that's been really testing my faith and stuff like that. So still haven't had really questions answered, but they've kind of been answered in different ways, if that makes sense. Like, so yes, I mean, yes, I definitely am. I'm not like, some of my friends who take philosophy at like a Christian college and become atheists because they took philosophy at a Christian college. Like, wait a minute. So, I mean, but at the same time,
can I get my money back?
A lot of friends who ended up going to Christian colleges, that was just the direct path from Christian high school to Christian college. And then you really find out. So we're not really taught, like I said, maybe in youth group or church, to think, for one thing, because the Bible is inerrant and you just don't question. And then, I mean, at least this is how it is in like the kind of it's funny too, because it's the evangelical, like free hippie movement, but like there's certain unalienable changes. You can't change the Bible. It's like
Correct. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
artist and ADHD mind was like, well, the Bible is like the story of Jesus. The story, it sounds a little bit mythological and like poetry and like literature. It sounds like the story of the Jews and the chosen people. Jesus wasn't even a Christian, blah, blah, blah. So like I raise up all these like speed bumps for people like, wait a minute, whoa, you can't, I'm like, well, who says you can't? The Bible doesn't even talk about drugs or abortion or anything like this. We kind of put that on it,
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying I have the answers, but I'm saying like, just think about it for a minute. Look at this with me. And I said every time from stage, if I said anything churchy or, altar call-y kind of stuff, I was always like, hey, don't take my word for it. I'm just Josh. Go read it. Go check it out for yourself. Go ask a mentor. Go to church one time for yourself and find out.
Yeah.
Go ask these questions.
Go watch a Savior Machine show. They'll give you the answers.
Amen. I mean, exactly. Like push the envelope for yourself, because
go see Twin Sister at the After Hours tent, and they'll set you straight.
Oh my, yes, I love it. So like I said, yes, to answer your question, yes, and it's a lot different now than it was when I was growing up.
Absolutely,
or even being on tour on stage and stuff like that. Because touring in the Christian music scene, I saw like hundreds of thousands of churches, thousands of people in the church. Everybody has a different belief, but we're all like trying to worship the same God. Everyone believes something different, and also like one church to the next, even if it's in the same city, is not going to let us have our face pierced or like, judge you for a tattoo or whatever. It's like, whoa. So it's kind of very easy to just kind of stop playing in the church and go play at clubs. You'll get, you just do it because, you get tired of being judged.
Yeah. I mean, you won't be able to pay your rent, but at least you'll be legit and have fun. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, it's both. Or we were fortunate enough to be able to play both. Like because we were, like you said, SoCal skate punk. So we played all the skate demos, we played all the snowboarding expos and stuff like that. But we could also, play with somebody on a church tour for a couple days a week, and then go play the clubs or skate parks in between.
Yeah.
We played a lot of skate parks around the country. So that, so like that was kind of beneficial for us growing. I think playing out of high school, we played a lot of parties and a lot of skate parks and stuff like that. We played in the middle of half pipes and stuff like that. So I think that kind of helped our trajectory into like having the foot in both doors, having the foot in both worlds kind of thing,
See, you guys were always very intimidating for us. All like those West Coast bands, I feel like Southern California, but especially the West Coast bands were always so tight. And so being Midwesterners and going on tour or going to festivals, it was always very, very, very intimidating to like crack that nut. And so for us, like we found our companionship with like Squad 5-0. And we found our touring companionship with like Dear Ephesus and Fold Zandura and Chevelle and
Tasty.
And these bands that were kind of Midwest and South because we weren't Southern California. Mm-hmm. But when we toured with POD and, we got to know them, it was like, oh my gosh, we finally know somebody from Southern California. When we show up at a festival, we can go up to these guys and be like, hey, Trey, hey, Wolf, like what's going on? Everybody else, it was like you, and I'm not saying this to make you feel bad at all. You guys did nothing. It was our perception and our like Midwest shyness that it was like we wanted we wanted a card given to us like, hey, come to our merch booth and hang out with us, because we would show up at a festival and it's like Supertones, MXPX, Dogwood, Value Pack, Goatee Hook. Now, mind you, I just learned that Goatee Hook was from like Washington, D.C., but I figured they were like West Coast because I always like plug them in with maybe it was the whole Tooth and Nail thing. But
probably,
so it was like you would show up and every like Tooth and Nail band was just thick as thieves. and to
Yeah.
like get into that and weasel into it. Dogwood, I always loved you guys. I loved your fans and I loved your show. Like I always knew if we were playing and then you guys were playing that our fans would go see you or your fans would stay for us. It was always that thing where if I saw you guys on the lineup, I was like, yes, like that's a band that we mesh well with. And I feel like our fans are the same fans.
For sure. Because you guys were a little bit harder, right? Like harder kind of ska punk.
Yeah, we like to think we were.
Than other. Well, I mean, than other.
Correct.
A little more edge than of Supertones. A little more, little less jokey than maybe Five Iron Frenzy.
Correct.
No shade on anybody, but the different styles.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think the Supertones were like the Real Big Fish. You know, kind of that real punchy, pet bandy, really third wave ska. Five Iron, our band has always said that then like Five Iron was the epitome of like punk ska, and then we were like that hardcore. You know, some of our albums don't reflect that, but our shows, our live show, you know, you guys, you're from Detroit, so like Navarro, like you're absolutely, yeah.
So I guess he was probably an influence on you, right?
Absolutely, Destruction by Definition is my favorite album of all time.
Woo! Okay, yeah, and then I would say Five Iron is maybe in the realm of like maybe less than Jake.
Exactly, exactly.
Like all the bands are good in their own way.
Yeah,
we played with all of them when they came to San Diego. Like, I mean, all the Less Than Jakes and Suicides. So like, I think that when we played with y'all, it was we did a show in Berwyn, Illinois, outside of Chicago, and you guys, it's just a suburb. I was some place that like did a show. I don't know.
Okay,
we played all the suburbs around Chicago. There's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
So, but with you, I think we were on a small tour with you up to like some convention in Wisconsin or something, right? So, anyways, you guys sound checked with True Believers.
Oh heck Souls. Yeah.
Right. So, I think we're on the way. I think it was the tour where we ended up playing at like somebody who worked for you or somebody who played in your band maybe it was Bo Salvation Army.
I think that was Nate, our drummer. In Rockford.
Okay, yeah, he was in with them. He was like worked for them or something.
Yep, exactly.
So, anyways, we were on a small tour, and you kept sound checking with that song, "True Believer," and I didn't know Bouncing Souls at the time, and now I'm a huge fan of Bouncing Souls. I thought that was one of your songs, and I was like, oh, these guys are good. I haven't really heard you until that you did that. So that was the first song I heard from you, and like, dude, this is a really good song. These guys are punk. That's not even a ska song, like. And all the vocal harmonies were super tight. I was like, I'm very impressed. But then I really heard you, and then I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, then you're like, these guys are garbage.
No, these guys are the insiders.
Now, what would you? Because I'm interested in this. What would you say would be your best song of all time? Like, what was your hit?
Mine?
Yeah,
from Dogwood.
Yeah.
I found out recently that sometimes the hits aren't necessarily always my favorite songs.
I get that, but
yeah.
What's your favorite? What do you think the fans' favorite is?
Oh yeah, I definitely think that. I would say All Hands on Deck.
That's mine. I love that song.
Every time somebody like texts me or runs into me from like out of the blue, like in another state, or even like Russ from Zayo texted me the other day, and he starts singing All Hands on Deck to me. It's kind of like that's how Brandon first heard about us, was that song, when we got signed, because we did 3 albums before we got on Tooth and Nail.
Weren't you on the POD's label?
Yeah, we
POD,
did 2 with
like
them.
Wovey's dad.
Right. Yeah, Rescue. We did
Rescue
2 there.
Records, yes.
And then we did one whole year of touring on our independent record. And then we got signed to Tooth and Nail Records.
Okay.
So we kind of a lot of records, actually. Wow. Jeez.
Humble brag.
No.
Humble brag. Hey, no big deal.
Hey, just like 20 records, whatever.
Tooth and Nail.
No, because anyways, that's that song, and then I think there's probably a couple other ones. Let me look at Spotify real quick. Just kidding. Got to get those pennies. Got to get those quarter of a penny.
You just have them playing in the background.
Oh, Building a Better Me. That's that one, because that one had a video. That one had a video on the video channels, so that helps it get bigger, of course, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, though I would say out of those three, those are probably three.
Now, what was your favorite?
Oh man, I just did this on the Growing Punk podcast. I picked like deep cuts.
Wait, I'm sorry. You do other podcasts? This isn't the first one that you've done. I think
this one is the first.
I think we're done here. 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 I think we're done here.
This is my first one I've done today.
Okay, cool. All right, so continue. What's your favorite song that you've done?
I think that let's see. Well, I did write one for my wife.
Okay.
That's on Building a Better Me. That's called "Comes Crashing." That's a fun one. It's like slower, but it's still very powerful, and the lyrics mean a lot. Because I wrote it when we were on tour, when her and I were broken up, and we were not married yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we're still married, and then so that's a meaningful one. Excuse me. And then I also like "Flowers Soon Die." It's one we actually wrote as one of our last songs that we wrote for to end our contract with Tooth and Nail. We did like a best of kind of thing.
Okay.
Wrote a couple songs in the studio, and that was one of them. And I think that's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I wrote one on our Seismic record, "Conscience in a Cave." It's like to be honest, it's about somebody, a person I know in the church who was dealing with drug addiction, but didn't want to come out of the closet per se about the drug addiction for fear of being rejected by the church.
Oh, gotcha. The old catch-22.
Hey, they were good too.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, because it's hard to deal with stuff in the church, because the church, my wife's a therapist. Sometimes the church doesn't even like to talk about therapy or psychology.
It's funny.
It's really strange, because like you need help, but yet you need to go see a Christian counselor. I'm like, well, my wife's a Christian, but she doesn't work for a church counseling center or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the church is sometimes very particular.
It's funny because Reese is very, very, very outspoken for what the church does wrong and very in your face about pointing stuff out. And Reese, I'm not saying anything that he wouldn't say. He basically has given up going to church because he just thinks the church is bullcrap. And he still has a relationship with Christ. He's still a Christian. It's just his relationship with the church is broken, if not shattered.
Sure.
It's odd because, I read the memes, I read I see the same memes that you probably see on Instagram and, accounts that are made just to bash like 90s, Christian culture and stuff like that. But the funny thing that I guess what I've come to realize is my church, like growing up, I always thought, man, they could do this better. They could do that better. And I think after hearing other people talk about their experiences in the church, I don't think my church is so bad. Like I listened to Reese just bag on the churches that he's been to. And I'm like, my church wouldn't do that. My church wouldn't do that.
Right.
My church wouldn't do that. So I have this different experience. I have this different experience than I think most people go through with if they have to do something. If someone in my church came out as gay, I don't think there would be a whole lot of issue with it. Also, just all kind of, you could bring up different topics. And I think our church always defaults to just love them.
I think that's what you're supposed to do.
I think I read that somewhere.
I think that somebody important in the Bible said that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even a Christian.
Yeah, I think his name is Gus or
God.
Jesus or something. Yeah, something. But
so I know what you mean. Yeah. Like we try to be part of Christian communities and churches and, faith communities that are like that are welcoming to all, because I don't know. It's not like I'm perfect. I don't have the same struggles as other people, but I have my own.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not, and sometimes I can't even get into the worship because I'm such a judgy music person, or like I'm just too tired, or my ADHD is kicking in, or like I'm not like the perfect church goer. But like I know that if I had a problem, I could go to people at the church and say, "Hey, can you help me?" And there
Yeah,
wouldn't be any judgment,
absolutely.
which
It's
is the way it should be.
And it's funny that you bring that up because I will sit in church with my 18-year-old and my 16-year-old, my 18-year-old, my 16-year-old, and they will be like, "Dad, enough." Like, you want to talk about ADHD in church, they don't have it. And so they will they're like, "Dad, enough. Like, stop talking. Like, sit still." Like, everything my mom used to say, they'll say to me, "Dad, sit still, pay
We gotta pinch you.
attention." Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's funny.
It is. It's bizarre. Like, they're like the adults in church because my brain's just going a million miles. And the
Sure.
older I get, the more I've realized, like, I could go to church, do praise and worship, and leave and feel more fed than going and listening to a message. Like, I get way more out of the music, way more out of the praise and worship than I do out of the message.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Maybe, you should tell that to somebody, one of the speakers, say like, "Hey, pep it up a little bit."
Yeah. Hey, you suck. Bring on the
Put in some
backup.
cuss words or something.
Yeah, bring up the backup band. Can you guys do a little insiders cover?
Oh, I love it.
They'd be like,
but
"Who?"
I know what you mean. I know what you mean for sure. That tracks though. That really tracks because you're a music guy. But
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
you
Now,
gotta get up there and speak.
since Reese isn't here, do you have any Five Iron stories?
Yes, I do. First time I saw them was at the Sea Stone Festival, Cornerstone in Bushnell, and somebody, I think our guitar player at the time, Jace, was like, "Hey, you got to hear this band. They have a lot of buzz." I think they were showcasing themselves to a couple labels at the time, and we had brought a video camera on tour with us. It was our first road trip tour with the first album. So we were recording like almost every show. So we were recording, and we walked in the tent. It was daytime, and they were covering Amy Grant. And they that's funny. Both times I saw both of you guys, you were covering somebody else. They were covering Amy Grant. I forget which song it was of hers, but it wasn't like one of her mainstream hits. It was like a Christian hit. But anyways, so I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. I know that song because my mom would listen to that same song, whatever, in the Amy Grant version." But and then I don't remember if it was that show or another show of theirs, but like they were throwing CDs out in the crowd and like hitting people in the face and stuff like that with their CDs. Their demos. That was the urban legend of
dark history.
Whether it may or may not have happened, I don't know. But I've heard audience members myself. I feel for that. I have hurt people.
I am 6'5". I'm 6'5", and back in my touring days, I was 6'5", probably 230, and I would do a stage dive where I would do a flip.
Yes,
and
me
so
too.
I would flip onto these kids, and I did it for multiple shows, and finally after a show, someone came up and they had a smile on their face, but they were like, "Hey man, I was in front," and it was after a Cornerstone show, and so I did it at Cornerstone, and the dude was like, "Hey man, I was up front when you did your stage dive." I was like, "Oh cool," like thinking I was all like gangsta and like awesome.
Suicide machines.
Yeah, and he was like, "Dude, that's not really cool. Like, you're a big dude and you hurt us." And it made me feel horrible. And so I stopped doing it. Like, at that point, I was like, all right, well, that's the last time I did that.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
The kids at Cornerstone. The kids at Cornerstone will let you know.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. They will.
Tell you. Yeah, they will tell you.
Yep. Yeah. Especially those Japuza kids. Those Japuza kids don't hold back. They're like kids with autism. They're just brutally honest.
That's how because if you're not honest, you're lying.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a bone in my nose, okay?
So Five Iron, back to
my first
Amy Grant.
No, that was my first story. Amy, that was the story. They're jumping around. Jay starts jumping around the camera, and it shuts off automatically because of something. It was like an 8mm or whatever. And then it turns back on, and they're doing another song, and they're just going crazy. The crowd's loving it, and then we kind of became friends with them after that.
Oh,
so
nice.
road trip. So that was like, I don't know, that must have been 90. It was in the 1900s.
Yeah.
It was late 1900s.
I would say, if I had to venture a guess, I would say 1996.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 95, 96, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our first time there. And then a funny Supertones story, if you're up for it.
Oh, we're always up for Supertones.
If you're listening, if you're in the Supertones, this is a funny story.
Most Supertones stories start or end with tobacco use, ecstasy, massive quantities of booze, nudity, human trafficking, or Play-Doh.
Yeah, this sounds like your regular typical tooth and nail video. So we were playing a festival in San Diego with them. And it was probably like maybe the height of their popularity, or right before the height of their popularity. And it was at Point Loma Nazarene College. Back when they were still the Crusaders, but they had to change their name.
Oh,
because of the Crusades, and that was
the Crusaders. I had heard them that they were called Saved. I've never heard that they were called the Crusaders.
Oh, the college was called the Crusaders.
I thought you meant the Supertones. I was like, that is legit.
Hello.
Oh,
they had to change their name. So we're playing the show with them, and they're like the headlining name on the festival bill or whatever.
Of course.
Like college festivals, you know.
Supertones, of course.
And we were doing our thing. We're playing, right before them. We get off, we go to our merch booth or whatever. And my friend, he's helping run the show or something. He did something with music at the college. And he's like, "Hey, did you read this writer? Did you read this? Check out the Supertones thing." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, did you guys hear that they sound a lot louder. They sound a lot better than you guys. It's not has nothing to do with your playing or whatever. It's like their actual sound system. Their writer, their contract says that nobody else at the show is allowed to use these speakers, these subwoofers down here until the Supertones go on, because of their some kind of contractual writer, so that they would sound more." And he showed me the thing. It's in their contract,
Those
money is out. I was like,
those
what?
sabotaging bastards.
Because I'm like, "Hey, can we get a little more bass in the monitor?" And the sound man's like, "Oh, that's all," because he actually said something like, "Oh, that's all you can get," but it didn't sound like it was loud. And so I never understood, because they have this insane sound system at this show, right? And then I found out the speakers weren't on and I always thought that was very strange. And I brought it up to Tony at the time when he was playing with them. He's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that."
Yeah.
I mean, there was probably only like one or two guys in the band that knew anything about the contracts or money or anything like that.
I think a lot more of them knew than you think. But I think their default was, I don't know. "Hey, have you been to catering? Blah 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 blah."
Damn. Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
weren't
what they
so
did.
innocent.
No, they weren't.
Maybe there's a reason they split off and did different things. I don't know.
They're all so nice and such great guys that you're like, "Hey, how come we had to raise the price of our orange shirt to double what your orange shirt was?" And we couldn't play with a trombone player, and they'd be like, "Oh, we don't know. Hey guys, have you seen the new Tooth and Nail video compilation VHS tape?" And you'd be like, "Oh," and they would just Jedi mind trick you into thinking something else. Those guys,
they really pulled a fast one on me.
They did.
But
we interviewed Jason Carson. I interviewed Jason Carson on this
love Jason
program. Yep, he's a great guy. And we did about an hour 10, and I don't even think we scratched the surface as far as digging into Supertone lore, if you will.
Was he opening doors, opening minds, melting faces?
He was laughing his butt off.
He laughs all the time.
Yeah,
he laughs all the time.
He was laughing his butt off as far as like I would tell him something that like we perceived to be something going on, and him laughing is just how far off base we were. But it was
I gotta
was
hear
so
this.
funny.
I gotta hear this.
It was legit. It was legit. Josh, we are at we're at 120 minutes. The old MTV show.
No,
No, we're not. We're at an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's 80 minutes.
Yeah.
But hey, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's late. It's late here. It's almost 9:30 here. I got to work tomorrow.
Oh.
We're going to bring this to an end. However, I want to have you back. I want to do a part 2, and hopefully we can do that soon and knock out a part 2 because I think there's a ton.
Food, drink some drinks.
Yeah, I think there's a ton more to talk about. I wanted to get into your podcast, and then hopefully we can have Reese on that. But I want to get into your podcast. I want to get into what you're doing now, your family, all that good stuff. So hopefully we can plan something to knock that out pretty soon to release these kind of like back to back.
Ooh, fancy.
Does that sound all right?
That tickles my fancy.
Perfect. I can't wait to see a pic of your fancy.
It's just this water bottle.
It's just I gotta pay $29.95 on OnlyFans to see your fancy.
Dang.
So yeah. I'm in. Yeah. I'm in the know, dude. I'm in the know. So
I gotta have you guys on the show. I gotta have you guys on my show.
Yeah, good luck getting Reese. I'm here for you, but like I said, nobody knows who I am. Reese Roper. I just ride his coattails.
Did you see what name I put on here?
Yeah, I did. Josh Yerke Roper. I like it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a collaborative effort. But
yeah, no. I think we should do an emo ska band called Josh Yerke Roper.
Done deal.
Okay. So anyway, you guys. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. We are going to get more into this. This is just a taste. So hopefully in a week or two, you will be hearing more from Josh Kellogg with all his past. Yeah.
Crumba.
Yeah. With all his past endeavors with Dogwood, we're going to get into more of that and more of his current goings on. So we want to thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome. Checks in the mail.
For more shows like this one, visit rockcandyrecordings.com.